This is the Twins POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Minnesota Twins. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Your Minnesota Twins out here playing spoiler. That felt good. Got a victory under their belt. They take down the Rangers tonight after a gem, a masterclass by Zebby Matthews. Final score tonight, 4-1. Got the full deep dive coming in. Thanks for tuning in. You got me, Luke Inman, at Luke_Spinman, main man, Theo Tollefson. Give him a follow on X, at Theodore Tollef, one Twins expert, by the way, over at Zone Coverage MN. And as always, go check out our guy, Brandon Warren. All the daily Twins content you can handle over on the Locked On Twins podcast. That's each and every day. All right, so 4-1 tonight, 69-89 now. That's the record on the year. Lots to get into. What can we learn from Zebby Matthews' gem tonight? Plus what we loved, what we hated. Got our nerdy stat of the day, plus the Rocco report as well. But first, let's just jump right into our biggest turning point from today.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
So it's funny because it's 1-0 after the first Ranger batter, and you're thinking to yourself, just given the past outings we've seen from Zebby, this could turn into a long night. Given the past actually matchups with the Rangers, I mean, they put up 16 on us earlier in the year. I think 13 as well.
Two times they had, I think I was at one of those games for sure, but when they were here in town, they had two 16-run
16
victories.
to 4, 16 to 3, dude. Yeah, that was back in June.
Yeah,
June
that was a very telling time of, this may not be it.
That was a turning point in the season right there, speaking of turning points. But you're thinking, all right, oh no, here we go. Could be a long night. But the Twins kind of ride out that storm. 8 hits, 4 runs, 3 for 19 with runners in scoring position. Maybe we'll talk about that later on. But just walk us through it. Biggest turning point from tonight's victory. When was it and why?
I think it's just after Zebby settled down after the second time through the order, because again, like you said, he gives up a leadoff home run. It's like, oh no, here we go again with him, because we've seen a lot of bad outings of him lately, but this has been his best start since that one in Seattle where he went 7 innings last time and gave up 4 earned runs, if I remember correctly. I'll have to double check that. Do not quote me on that factually. But I mean, this is a very encouraging start to end the season on, because I don't think he's going to be thrown again in Philadelphia this weekend. So you got to take advantage of what you saw here from him tonight. Really solid performance here for him. Just, mowing down batters, not always getting the strikeouts. I mean, limiting the walks, just getting some pitch contact outs there, as Rick Anderson would love back in the day. But you got to appreciate what he was able to go out there and do tonight, because we have not seen this version of Zebby in a long while. Honestly, I feel like it's been like almost 2 months really since the Nationals are in town, and that start he had against them where he threw 6 shutout innings. Yeah, that's what it was, because I was at the game. But yeah, I mean, there is still signs of encouragement. I would not be discouraged with the bad results. I think it's just him adjusting to
going through the process.
Exactly. It's his first full major league season. He got rushed up from high A last year to the majors within 3 months. So I think there's still a lot of upside we have with Zebby. He's figuring out the kinks here, and this is a very encouraging way for him to end the season here tonight, just going 7 full innings, 1-run baseball, and limiting those walks.
Yeah, no doubt. Absolute gem. Love that you called out just kind of riding the wave out a little bit there. He settled down. And again, it's so key with these young pitchers too, as we know with Rocco and a lot of Twins pitchers, just trying to get through that third order if you can, the third time through the order if you can, if you have even that long enough of a leash from Rocco tonight. Obviously, he was pitching well enough that they wanted to leave him in. It was a 2-1 game, by the way, in the 6th inning. Cody Clemens kind of sparked the 2-run difference there. Cody Clemens, big clutch single to left. James Outman scored. That made it 3-1, and then just felt like, okay, Zebby's got a little bit more breathing room. Austin Martin fielded into a grounder's, fielder's choice to shortstop.
RBI,
And I think Brooks Lee scored on that to make it 4-1, kind of on cruise control after that. How about the Rocco report tonight? Favorite or, least favorite move or decision out there from Rocco Baldelli tonight?
You left Zebby in for 7. For all the Twins fans who are worried about, is Rocco doing the quick pull here, the quick hook? No. It's the kid's last start of the season. He let him go 7 full, left him with a high note to end the season on, and a very disappointing year for the team and an up and down year for Zebby Matthews. But it's great to see something like that happen. And Cody Funderburk pitched a solid 8th inning there. And if you want to talk about two guys who have really stepped up post-trade deadline with the roles that they've had. Austin Martin is the obvious one on the hitting side. He's done a fantastic job.
Batting 290, I want to say, second on the team.
Yeah.
I know batting average is whatever nowadays, but.
Well, I still value it because my dad's favorite player of all time was Rod Carew, and gosh darn if I'm not going to value batting average because of how the way I was raised and how I was taught to hit the ball.
Respect, Mr. Tullis.
So, yeah. And then Cody Funderburk on the pitching side, especially in the bullpen role, he's been phenomenal. He's had a couple bad outings.
Sure.
I want to say maybe like 2 since August 1st, but I mean, he's stepped up and really felt comfortable in this consistent bullpen role, not being the shuttle guy anymore between St. Paul and, the Target Field. That was something he told us after, I want to say, his 10th outing in August, where he didn't give up an earned run. He gave up 1 run in August, but it was unearned. And we talked to him and they asked him, like, what's been working for you? And he admitted, like, not going back and forth, even though you're only taking sometimes a 13-mile drive, or maybe you're traveling from city for city if the Twins are on the road and the Saints are also on the road. But it still does have that impact of going back and forth from AAA to the majors does impact guys in a negative way. And he admitted that was the case for his numbers. And to see him just flourish in the majors now he's probably going to be your primary lefty going into the offseason, but that's a good place for him to grow into, considering where he started this year and how last year was for him too in the majors.
I mean, such a good talking point there, because, as much as we're going to focus on tonight's game, though, you're totally right. After they gutted that entire, lineup, roster, whatever you want to call it, but especially the relievers, right? Just to have one guy back there, is there any bones rattling around back there that we can lean on and kind of still keep and develop for next year? Funderburk's been that guy through and through, no doubt. Let's get into what we'll be talking about tomorrow morning.
This is what you'll be talking about.
I think you got to go back to the pitching staff, man, after this one. Again, we'll keep it game focused tonight, but again, a lot of guys in this rotation. We're going to see Taj Bradley up there tomorrow. They're trying to develop these guys. A lot of upside in when you just think about the group of arms that they got back there. Tonight, obviously, again, it was Zebby Matthews' turn. So great to see him flash the good stuff out there tonight. 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 6 Ks, 0 walks. How about that command?
Yeah.
90 pitches. And again, here's the kicker. The only run given up, first batter of the game, solo shot. So that means he put together 7 straight innings of shutout ball, 21 straight out that. What did you love from him tonight? Like, what was really working with his stuff that you saw?
Just command, good calling by Vasquez. And let's talk about both the catchers coming back, because we haven't addressed that yet, because Christian Vasquez was out with a shoulder infection. That was pretty scary. And then Jeffers had a concussion. So to get both those guys back in the lineup here tonight, even though there's a week left in the season, that's just encouraging for them, because they don't want to just coast out and sit on the bench for the rest of the year, even if there's only a week left. These are guys who are competitors. They want to be helping the team in any capacity they can. And even if, Vasquez is entering the free agency season and Jeffers is going to be in trade talks this offseason, these are guys who want to be with this team and do their part, even if they're out of contention. They want to win, and they are going to do their parts to help this team win, no matter what the costs are. And it's just great to see them back in the lineup. And I think both them being back really helped, even Zebby on the pitching side, especially Vasquez. We know he's the best defensive catcher this team has right now and throughout the entire organization. And you just got to, give kudos for him for being back there behind the plate tonight after such a scary infection and a quick rehab assignment of 4 games with the St. Paul Saints. And look what he was able to do. And he also stole a base.
Yeah.
You don't see that from catcher. And Christian Vasquez added his hat to this club and stole a base, and so did Ryan Fitzgerald. Also, on the point of
3
what
stolen
we'll
bases
about,
Eshell as well, yeah.
On the point of what we'll be talking about, how about that Matrix-like move by Ryan Fitzgerald? Even though he didn't come across the score, look at that.
That was
that move.
That was sexy.
We're going to talk about that. It's straight out of the Matrix. Everyone's going to be calling him Neo and Grandpa Neo from now on, because he earned the nickname Grandpa from Luke Keeschel, who was pissed off he was called his son. So
when you watch an outing like that tonight, and again, granted, he's been very volatile this season, some good, some really bad, but when you see what it can look like when it all comes together like it did tonight, what kind of, how high is the floor, how high is the ceiling, I guess, in a guy in the MLB?
For a guy like Zebby, it's a playoff caliber starter. That's how high the ceiling is.
Wow.
And I feel like we've already seen what the low is this season. I think those bad starts, we know what it is. I feel like his worst case scenario, he has a career that plays out like LaTroy Hawkins, who was a hyped up
Mm.
starting pitching prospect. And when he was a starter in those really bad teams in the 90s,
Yeah.
he was pretty bad. And then when you look at how he was as a reliever, he made his career last 20 years. So I feel like that is a comp, which is maybe a little premature to
I
make
like
to
it.
Zebby, but like that's kind of his ceiling and floor. And
Yeah.
maybe he's not
Yeah.
going to pitch as long as LaTroy did in the majors, but I think that's kind of the similar trajectory. Is we know how effective he is as a starter, but imagine what that guy could be like with just trying to get 3 outs or maybe 6 every outing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean that's a pretty good floor to have.
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? 5 games left on the schedule, like you said. So probably his last start, depending on how things shake out. But
Yeah.
what type of momentum, I guess, does that do for such a young kid? You just mentioned it. Last year, he gets pulled up early. He was in single A. To end the year on such a high note, knowing that you're going to be, I mean, dude's going to be in the meat grinder with about 5-6 other arms for that starting rotation next year.
Yeah, I think right now how things look, I think Twins fans should expect either one of Pablo Lopez or Joe Ryan to be traded this offseason. I think I can confidently say one of them will remain with the team just because Ryan has not been the strongest with his performance down the stretch, and also Pablo's ending the year on the IL and has $21.75 million attached to him, so he might be a little harder to move. But I think it's safe to say one of them is to stay with the team. Bailey Ober is your number 2 guy. I think with Simeon, how he's been pitching down the stretch here, is your number 3. Add Taj Bradley in. So yeah, that 5th spot is up in the air for the Mick Abels, the Zebby Matthews, Andrew Morris, and St. Paul might even have a chance to get that 5th spot out of camp.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's still going to be fighting for a rotation spot. But I mean, he kind of has the default position to be the number 5 starter because of what he did this year in the majors, going through thick and thin and ending on high notes. I think it's safe to say, like, by default, he's going to be their number 5 starter next year, which is still a very good position for him to be in and this pitching staff. Because yes, they've gone through their ups and downs. They push guys to pitch through injuries when they shouldn't have, and that led to bad results throughout the season. But on paper, we're just going to be optimistic because we are this time of year when your team's out of contention and spring training is 5 months away. You got 5 really good starters, good depth, but we've also seen the opposite side of the coin where that good depth can be pushed to the limit when guys are getting hurt, as they have this year. So I think Zebby's in a really good spot to still make this Twins opening day rotation 2026, but we got a long ways to go.
Long way to go. Yeah, no doubt.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Trigger happy. I'm excited. Let's just
you did get a little trigger happy there. So yeah, it's
hey, 5 games left, man. 5 games left. Let's put the official MVP on our guy here. Let's put the cherry on top here. Your official game MVP from tonight. Who was it and why?
Zebby.
Yeah, no doubt. Easy, right? Just for exercise purposes, right? Twins still win 4-1. If it wasn't Zebby, who is the obvious choice? He's the A topic, right? No doubt. We've showered him with a lot of love and flowers as he deserves. But who would be the next guy in line if it wasn't Zebby?
Cody Clemens being moved from first to second, back to first tonight. Some amazing diving plays there at second base, some clutch hitting. I mean, if you want to talk about a guy who has definitely found his role in the opening day roster next year, who had no chance when he's
been a fun story, man. Yeah,
he's been a great story. I think there are some baseball fans that will enjoy having the baseball family legacy attached to this franchise right now. So
what's he, 29 years old? Going to be 30?
Yeah, he'll be 30. He'll be 30 next year. But again, still a seasoned veteran who can definitely be a good role player.
A glue guy, it feels like. Not going to make an all-star team, not going to light the world on fire, but just one of these glue guys that they need so desperately as they develop all the young kids back there. And a lot of volatility with the young guys, a lot of ebbs and flows, but have some veterans back there, the glue guys. It definitely feels like he's earned that role, as you said. Don't go anywhere. Biggest pros, biggest cons tonight. That's all coming up right after this. Quick reminder, today's episode brought to us by FanDuel. You know, the NFL season, it's here. FanDuel's making sure you're ready for kickoff with this can't-miss offer right now, new customers. You bet just $5. If your bet wins, you're getting $300 in bonus bets guaranteed. Why I love FanDuel. They got everything. Player props, same game parlay, jumping in live as the action unfolds. My favorite. You name it, they got it. So quick, it's so easy. And it's the best way to add a little bit more enthusiasm, a little bit more excitement to your Sundays. Are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app. Go visit FanDuel.com today to get started. That's FanDuel.com. You're getting $300 in bonus bets guaranteed when you win your first $5 wager. All right, biggest pros, biggest cons from tonight. When it comes to tonight's game specifically, start with the biggest pro, I guess. What did you just absolutely love to see out there?
Good starting pitching and good bullpen relief. And the cons,
it feels, we usually don't get both, though. You know, maybe
it's been a while.
Honestly, as of late, I forget 2 series ago maybe the Yankees. The relievers were fantastic, dude. 3 runs in like 18 innings, 13, something like that. But you don't get both. Usually you don't get both. So tonight, definitely that was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And the con, Luke Keeschel potentially getting hurt with that slide into second base with his stolen base. Yeah. And not, performing with runners in scoring position. That
3 of 19. Yeah.
I mean, that's still never great. Even when you get a win, that's never a good number to have hanging over you, but people brush it aside when you get the victory. So, no doubt. And again, this is the last of 6 games, so I think we will brush this aside in the long run. So
Austin Martin looked like he got dinged up too, actually, at third base. Got caught up in a little pickle, a little jam there, third and home. He came back in the game, and then Vasquez got hit right in that forearm, man, that back forearm, the non-padded one there too.
Yeah.
But he obviously stayed in the game as well. So a couple injury scares there. We'll see what happens with Luke Keeschel. But you get this late in the season. We saw Pablo Lopez leave. He's on the IL, as you mentioned, with that tight forearm going on. But you just want to get out of this last week or two unscathed going into the offseason, it feels like.
Yep.
Let's end with this nerdy stat of the daytime. Any crazy stat? Any fun analytic, I guess, Twins related?
Yeah, they mentioned this on the broadcast. So the most amount of individual players to steal base in the season is 18 in Twins franchise history back in 2001. Well, Christian Vasquez and Ryan Fitzgerald made it 16 and 17 tonight. So if Edward Julian steals base, for example, they'll get that most amount of players to steal base in a single season for the franchise history. So let's hope Julian does that so they can get to 18. And I don't even know who would make it 19. I got to double check. Maybe Carson McCusker.
Julian's still trying to linger around. 2 for 2 coming in for Keeschel, I believe. 2 for 2 tonight. So ended on a high note there. 4-1, that's your final. 67 and 89 now on the year. Zebby with an absolute gem. 7 innings, 1 earned run, 4 hits, no walks. Check out all Theo's work, by the way, on X. It's at Theodore Toloff 1 plus all the work. He's always ripping up over at zonecoveragemn.com as well. Got to mention it too. Go check out our guy, Brandon Warren. All the daily Twins content you can handle over on the Locked On Twins podcast. That's each and every day. Luke Inman at Luke_Spinman. Game 2 tomorrow, same time. Taj Bradley next on the mound. We'll catch you right here. Until then, signing out.